Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Sky is the limit. If you know, you know. Anyway, listen. By the way, my name is Versatile, aka the Alkebulan Trust, the name you could trust when it comes to all things reaction. Shout out to every single returning subscriber. Shout out to all the new subscribers to get me. So, if you're new here, go ahead hit the subscribe button because you will get a shout out. I learned something new when I was reacting on my other channel. So, if you want a shout out, I will do that in between, different videos that I will react to. But without further ado, you know the deal, you know the drill. Like, comment, and share. You see the title of this video. So those will be the main points, obviously. But before we get into that, I need to make sure that this thing is actually working first. Give me a second. But yeah, man, let me know what your thoughts are and on how you know on the subject matter or the title. Like, let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. Yeah. Let me give me a second because I'm still learning this whole live stream game. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm still learning how to roll with it. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, let's just get straight into it. So the first thing we're gonna react to is what's it? Craig David. I shout out to Craig David as well. He's Harshaw. I can't say his name properly. It is what it is. Brought him out in one of your shows, so that was good to see. Because I remember this is decades ago. They did a radio. They were on radio. I think it was on Commander B's show. I can't remember. Remember, I might have to. Let me see if I can react to it after this. But anyway, I'm gonna react to "Commitment" by Craig David and Tiwa Savage. But yeah, let's just get straight into it. If you're a Craig David fan, hit the subscribe button. If you're a Tiwa Savage, hit the subscribe button. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. I've been meaning to react to this. Get me. Let's go.
Learn Spanish with Real Spanish TV.
Este mensaje es para todos los que sentís esta máscara como un símbolo de resistencia.
Every time I show you vibes, you cannot see it. Hang on. So Craig David has done UK Garage. He's done, I feel like, yeah, UK Garage, because that's the first thing I've noticed Craig David on. You know what I mean? Like, rewind. When the crowd say both selector, rewind. Yeah. And then obviously, man, more or less became more popular and well known because of R&B. Do you know what I mean? And got me. I got his album. You know what I mean? If you know, you know. Born to Do It. Do you know what I mean? Like, it was a Christmas gift, by the way. But yeah, like a CD. If you know, you know. Like, that's the man, them errors there, man. If you know, you know. Just a different listening experience when you listen to on different platforms. But it is what it is, man. But anyway, and then now obviously man's doing Afro beats. Well, could you call it Afro beats? It more or less sounds like more or less you could say Afro beats. You could say that. So yeah, man. Let me know what your favorite Craig David song is in the comments section below, and let me know what your favorite Tiwa Savage song is in the comments section below. Like this channel, I will react more to Tiwa Savage's songs as well, or anything related like Afro beats or anything like that. But as far as R&B and UK garage and them type of tunes there, that will be on the other channel. Do you know what I mean? But let's keep it moving. Let's go. Every time I tell the truth, you don't believe it. Don't tell me I don't know about commitment. When I was the only one to show you different. Yeah. It don't be the same no more. I can see, you can see it don't be that way no more. Yeah. You're running around like you don't have feelings anymore. Yeah. It's cool if you well know that if you leave then say no more. No more. When you go left, I will go. Hang on, wait. When you go left, then I go right. Chase. But obviously, if you're watching from this angle, it's go. When I go left, then you go right. Anyway, let's go. Craig David is a bad boy singer. If you know, you know.
We just play chess when we collide. Think it's right about time I show you. Every time I tell the truth, you don't believe it. Don't tell me I don't know about commitment. When I was the only one to show you different. Differently, we fell in love instantly. You're a man on a mission, stacking your paper, so I kept the distance, babe. We were self-destructing like kamikaze. Though you say I'm a snack, I belong in a pantry. You do these things to me like fire.
It was self-destruction like kamikaze. Aye, listen. Aye, Tiwa Savage, what we saying? Like, I know for real though, yeah. This is what I appreciate about like music, yeah. Like if like you know the type of music, yeah, where it's like when I say authenticity, like I genuinely mean authenticity in terms of like when you can tell that an artist has either experienced that or they know of someone that's experienced that, it's a different vibe. Like you can feel the genuine of it. And obviously, if you and what makes this collaboration so interesting. By the way, if you made it this far, make sure you hit the subscribe button. By the way, hit the like button if you haven't already. Make sure you share. Make sure you comment. But yeah, what makes this collaboration like even more poignant? I'm trying to use big words, you know. I mean, my name ain't T.I. out here or Chris Eubank Senior, but get me. But like, nah. All jokes said, what makes this collaboration great to see is because, as some of you may or may not know, Tiwa Savage, you know, she was partly raised in the UK as well. So, and if memory serves correct, Craig David, no, yeah, Craig David's career started way before, like I'm talking about professionally, it started way before Tiwa Savage. So that's what makes this collaboration even more interesting. You know what I mean? But let's keep it moving. Let's go.
Differently, we fell in love instantly. You're a man on a mission, stacking your paper, so I kept the distance, babe. We were self-destructing like kamikaze. Though you say I'm a snack, I belong in a pantry. You do these things to me like fire, make we rekindle it. When you go left, I just go right. But I still want it all night. Undo the stress, show me your mind, cause you know I need it. Every time I need it.
That's an interesting thing. If you tell the truth and someone doesn't believe you, that's not on you to find a way for them to believe you. It's either they believe you or they don't. Like I kid you not. It used to annoy me as a child and as a teenager. I used to, and early 20s and stuff like that. It used to annoy me. Like I will say something, but yet I'm not being believed. It's like, what do you mean you do not believe me? And then I have to, like, I'm not going to explain myself. I hate explaining myself. I'm not going to do it. The older I've gotten, the more I realize I ain't gonna explain myself. You know what I mean? I don't need to. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, different circumstances require different explanation for whatever the circumstance is. Obviously, don't get that twisted. Yeah. But in some circumstances, in terms of the context of this, sometimes it's like you ain't got to explain yourself. You ain't got, like she really said, like, you know, she understands the distance. Basically, her man is on his grind. Do you know what I mean? But obviously, because of that time, do you know what I mean? The flame that's there. Do you know what I mean? She wants to rekindle that passion and all that stuff there. Do you know what I mean? Like, so I get it. Like, I absolutely get it. But what I do find very, very interesting is the simple fact of, like I said, you don't need to explain yourself. You don't need to, you know, like, if they don't believe that, It's strange. I just realized. Anyway, let's keep moving. Let's keep moving.
Don't tell me I don't know about commitment when I was the only one to show you different. I'm grown, I'm good when I'm on my own.
I like how he said that. I'm grown, but I'm good. No. We don't say good. No. I rebuke that. Hear me? When I say I rebuke that, it's good having a union. You know what I mean? It's good having a union. But like, no, like for real, like I like how he said, I'm grown. Because that adds on to what I was saying earlier. When you are grown, you don't need to explain yourself. When you're a child or whatever, or preteen, then yeah, explain yourself. But when you're grown, you're a grown adult. Why you explain yourself? Do you know what I'm saying? Like if you believe me, you believe me. If you don't, that's on you. That's not on me. What do you mean? You know what I mean? Like I can what do you want to give you? I can give you all the facts. You can find out the facts for yourself. If I give you like actual facts, you know, like sometimes I don't know, like I said, different now don't like I said, the different circumstances. Obviously, if it's in the court of law, you do need to kind of explain yourself. If they're asking you a question, and you know what I mean. And obviously, I'm not saying. Okay, I teared off into a different lane where I mentioned about courts and stuff like that. But you get the point I'm trying to make, right? Hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification, whether you get the point I'm trying to make or not. You know what I mean? But let's keep it moving. I'm grown, I'm different. Anyway, let's go.
I'm making money, yeah, I be on the phone. All the stone, yeah, I've been in the cold, you know. You told me that we would never fold. Sexy elegance, always in control. You told me when we met, we should go with the flow. It's cool, you know my phone blowing up. I ain't showing up. Every time I show you vibes, you cannot see it. Every time I tell the truth, you don't believe it. Don't tell me I don't know about commitment.
Don't tell me I know nothing about commitment. When I Craig David is singing his heart out in this one. Get me? Tiwa Savage does what she does. You know what I mean? Like we know how Tiwa Savage does her thing. You know what I mean? We know. But obviously, I'm not saying we don't know about Craig David because we do know. If we rewind, get me to the beginning of his career, yeah, we know he's levels. Do you know what I mean? But it's I won't even lie to you. It's like let's react into this song. Yeah, it's put a reminder like, yo, Craig David is that guy. Like I even tweeted, no, I retweeted. I said I captioned it as two kings, two R&B kings. When Usher brought out Craig David, do you know what I mean? Like at a concert, like because I don't think people really give Craig David. I'm not. In fact, do they? Because I don't want to say they don't give them the props or the recognition or the respect they deserve when they actually do get it. Do you know what I mean? For example, if he was to appear on R&B Money podcast, I think that would be a good thing if he does appear on there. I mean, Estelle's appeared on there, so why not Craig David? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, why not Craig David? Especially the fact that he's releasing more music consistently. Do you know what I mean? Let's keep it moving though, man. What's your favorite Craig David song though as well? Like I said, and what's your favorite Tiwa Savage song? Leave your answer in the comments below. Let's go. Yeah. All right, Craig David and Tiwa Savage. Give me. All right, all right. I've okay. Is that Leon Thomas? No, it's Wale Blanco, and I'm saying the official remix needs to be with Blanco. If you know, you know. Craig David talks with working with Tiwa Savage and gives a call to. All right, you know what? Let's just keep it moving. But yeah, man, let me know what your thoughts are on this particular song, and this video. Let's get straight into the comments real quick. Get me. Rewind. When I crowd say bow select, that tune stays in my head, bruv. Anyway, no diddy. Anyway, can't believe Craig David still sings. His music made so much wave in the early 2000s. Do you see what I'm trying to say? And I'm literally singing Rewind. When I crowd say bow selector. Get me? And that was released in 2000s. If you know, you know. Only the golden generation here for Craig David. No. Not the only golden generation. The fact that yes, he's from a particular generation and Tiwa Savage is from another generation, it means that if you're a fan of Tiwa Savage and you're a fan of Craig David, whichever level, or not level, but whichever song or album Craig David released, and you found out about Craig David at that time, do you know what I mean? Like, because you got to remember, when it comes to music and you're hearing things for the first time, sometimes, yeah, the song may be old to you, for example, or, you know what I mean, new to you, like old to someone else, but new to you. And sometimes that may be an age thing, or maybe it's just a thing of you was completely unaware of that time. Do you know what I mean? Like there's certain, that's just how life is. Do you know what I mean? So let's not disrespect the thing. Get me? Kids of today will never understand what Craig David brought up in the music industry. Guy was so magical. You're saying that like he's still not like that guy. This song proves he's still that guy. Get me? I'm here for the GOAT, Craig David. I'm not liking that. I'm gonna be real with you, because the GOAT is Michael Jackson. We're talking about greatest of all time. If you're gonna put him in the bracket as the king of R&B or the UK or the UK king of R&B, then all right, cool. That would be undisputed. There's no debate in that, unless you wanna kind of say, I don't know, who else in the UK can we say is king of R&B? Leave your answer in the comment section below. You know what I mean? Like, I love this song, and SOS, welcome back. You're still amazing. Your voice is fire. Much success with your new project. Couldn't believe it. Couldn't believe it was Craig David. I recall listening to him 20 years ago. This is remarkable, and plenty love for Tiwa. You see? And again, look, see, he sound like a typical Afrobeat. You mean Afrobeats. But anyway, it is good to see that Craig David, hold on, and Tiwa Savage is remaining to show their commitment to their music careers. Both are absolute legends. Yeah. Both are absolute legends. If you know, you know. Both of them in their own respective rights. But let's see what you lot saying in the comments real quick. Listen, if you've got any comments, like I said, you want me to give a live shout out or read out your comments in the live chat, you know what I mean? While we're live, then I will do it there and then. You know what I mean? I found a way to do it in between reaction videos or videos I'm reacting to. But yeah, man, let me know what your thoughts of that tune is. But yeah, let's just get straight into the next one, which is, listen, I'm doing this in the chronological order. In fact, it's, hang on. Someone told me to someone said I should react to, was it Poquita? And listen, by the way, my name is Vixen, aka the Alkebulan Trust name you can trust when it comes to all things reactions. And right now I'm going to react to Poquita by Anitta featuring Sway Lee. Poquito. And I'm pronouncing it in such an English way, so if that's the mispronunciation, I apologize. And what does that mean, by the way? Let me know in the comment section below. Yeah, so I was recommended to react to this, so I'm going to react to it here and now. Also, I do want to make a mention, because they mentioned something about translated in Portuguese or something like that. Unfortunately, on my end, unable to do that. But if you can click, for example, there should be a thing on depending whether you're watching it on YouTube or whatever. But there's a setting for the captions, and you can be able to have it translated in the language of your choice. Do you know what I mean? They may not have every language in the world, but they definitely have Portuguese. I'm pretty sure of that. But yeah, let's just get straight into this. Poquito by Anitta and Sway Lee. Let's go. I pronounced it right. Poquito. Da 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 da. Poquito. Da 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 da. Poquito. Hey, listen. What we saying? Like immediately. That's how you can tell. Like if she wrote this song, which I believe she must have, she's a good songwriter. Like she's a good songwriter. Like, because you can write a song, and immediately you may not, like you may, what's the word I'm looking for? You may be able to understand or catch on to it immediately, or it may take a bit of time within the song to catch on. But this was immediately. Like I can't think of any other song right now that had me singing along instantly as if I know the song. You know what I mean? And the fact that it's in a different language is even more interesting. You know what I mean? Poquito, da 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 da, Poquito. That was only 1 second. What's going on?
Poquito, it only takes a little bit, just poquito, to get you hooked on all of this. Like a rico, just enough to make you miss what you know you can't resist. I got him on the way, driving here with no brakes. My address in his ways, and you know that it's safe. Way that I put it down, he always come around. He been lost, now he found. He been lost.
Okay, so she's switching between. I'm assuming she's singing in Portuguese and now she's rapping. So it's like, but she's switching between Portuguese and English. Like I respect that to be able to, sing or rap in, the language. I do not like use let's just say the mother tongue, yeah, and then also switching in between another language. And yeah, I know the other language is English, but to be able to do the two in one song so far, incredible to me. That's just my take. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button if you haven't already. Let's go. But yeah, man, let's go.
Now we found. I got them talking like it's love. I'm gonna get them high enough. I got them talking like
I like that. I get them high, yeah. Then you see them in the air like that. Like that. Hey, yo. Okay. Let's keep it moving. Let's go. Hit the subscribe button.
I got them talking like it's love. I'm gonna get them high enough. I got them talking like it's love. Poquito, it only takes a little bit, just poquito, to get you hooked on all of this. Like a rico, just enough to make you miss what you know you can't resist. Poquito, it only takes a little bit, just poquito, to get you hooked on all of this. Like a rico, just enough to make you miss what you know you can't resist.
The hook is hooking. The hook is hooking. Yeah, me. Poquito. Poquito. Listen, what other songs from Anitta that would you like me to react to? Obviously, I want to go through a journey from the beginning to where she is now. But if there's any other reactions they want me to do in regards to Anitta, like I can prioritize those ones first or whatever. But yeah, man, let me know what your thoughts are on this song so far, on this video so far. Let me know what your favorite Anitta song is as well, and why it's your favorite. I think that would be a good point to make. Like, why is it your favorite song, or why is it your favorite music video from you know, Anitta and stuff like that. And I'm saying like, because yo, when I say this is like, what's the word? Bear with me, on you. Like when I say this was or this song like is excellently wrote, it's excellently wrote. Like it's just the tonality. One is the tone, two it's obviously the way she's singing but also rapping, but like it's the hook. When there's not many people that can make a great song like this. This is a great song. I don't even know what Poquito means, bruv. I don't know what it means, but I'm intrigued to know what it means. What does it mean? What does Poquito mean? I mean, and I know "su" means yes in Portuguese because that's what Ronaldo does.
Give you feelings that'll never go away. Love you like crazy, man. Fucking you the greatest. Always asking about my current situation. Didn't wanna have you caught up in a love triangle. I fucked up on that beach, yeah. Few girls for me, they each share.
I'm not sorry, and I know this probably may sound rude, but it's not rude, by the way. I've always had a feeling, and I could be wrong, but you know Harry and Chloe Bailey, right? Obviously, we know they're sisters. That's just plain facts. I mean, we know their journey so far, right? I've always felt like, isn't Sway Lee related to them somehow? You know what I mean? Like, if they were to make a movie together, all three of them, he could play their brother. I promise you that. They really do.
Why me? I gave her a few reasons. Pulling up till we in wheelchairs. Yeah. What's the vibe like? Let me know. That bitch come forward just a little bit more. Skipping all conversations inside. No. Love that she's perfect from her head to toe. Yeah.
Poquito, it only takes a little bit, just poquito, to get you hooked on all of this. Like it rico, just enough to make you miss what you know you can't.
You know what I like about these visuals as well, yeah? I like the fact that on Anita's like with on Anita you can see an image and it does look like a projector image of Sway Lee. Like I was seeing it earlier, and then like now in some parts I'm seeing a projected image of Anita on Sway Lee. That's cold. So now it's got me thinking, okay, from what he was rapping about, and I can understand some parts of what Anita was singing about, was also technically rapping about. I'm guessing, it's just a wild guess, that this is about, you know what I mean, a particular relationship that has that passion, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I mean? But let's keep it moving. Let's go. Poquito. Da, 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 Poquito. Da, 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 da. Alright, listen. Let's go. Let's go.
Can't resist, poquito. It only takes a little bit, just poquito, to get you hooked on all of this. Like it rico, just enough to make you miss what you know you can't resist. I got them talking like I'm gonna get them high. I got them talking like it's like poquito. It only takes a little bit, just poquito, to get you hooked on all of this. Like it rico, just enough to make you miss what you know you can't resist. Poquito. It only takes a little bit, just poquito, to get you hooked on all of this. Like it rico, just enough to make you miss what you know you can't resist.
Alright, listen, shout out to Anita, shout out to Sway Lee, shout out to everyone involved with that video, and most importantly as well, the person that recommended this tune. You know what? Let me give him a proper shout out. Let me find out properly, yeah? Get me? Let me find out properly. Get me? This was a banger, bruv. Like, this genuinely was a banger. Or not was, it is a banger. Poquito, da 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 da. Hey, listen, I'm telling you. I am telling you. Poquito. Alright. It is Morello Novaes. Morello. I know I have to say Morello because there's a player who's actually Brazilian, by the way, as I know, who Chelsea initially wanted to purchase for the senior squad. I'm assuming, despite his age, and I could see why. And after the way we played, anyway, let me not date this reaction video, but get me. Put it this way: the 2024 to 2025 season, I can see why he would make an excellent addition to the Chelsea Football Club squad. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying on that end. But yeah, that's how I know because I would be interested if Anitta did play football. But anyway, Murillo plays for Nottingham Forest at this point. So anyway, that aside, that's how I know how to pronounce that name. But he's the surname, or I don't know how to pronounce that. But shout you out, Murillo. You know what I mean? Shout you out. Shout you out. But yeah, man. Because they said next time, sorry, to put react to Anitta Poquito. Sorry, react to Anitta Poquito, please. So yeah, man. Shout you out still. Like this is the great thing about doing these live streams, and you know what I mean. If you leave it in the comments, I may just do it. I may just react to it. Alright, listen. Anyway, let me know what your thoughts are. Well. Anyway, proud of these vocals. Damn it. Okay. I mean, I wouldn't mind running it back one more time. I'm addicted to this music. I hear it still. Anitta. Okay. Anitta is at the height of her beauty in this clip because, not to mention her vocal evolution, perfect. Do you see exactly why I was saying I want to go through the journey of an artist or whoever, like especially an artist, right? If it's especially Anitta, because I'm thinking like, raw. Imagine I'm just seeing like the growth. Do you know what I mean? Like the growth, like so it makes me appreciate that artist even more. But like they said, like her vocal evolution, and I think that's key because sometimes as an artist, some artists could just remain stagnant and just be like not complacent, but it'd be like, okay, this pattern works, this flow works. I'm gonna stick with this because it works. They don't challenge themselves, or do you know what I mean? And yeah, it could be a bit of touch and go because you could challenge yourself and do something that may seem way off the mark, and you may get backlash from that, but at least you can. I don't know. It's a tricky one with music because obviously you want to cater to your fan base, and anyway, I can go off into a tangent because get me. I got passion for the music game still. For music, so I say. Let's see what people are saying most recently because this was released 6 years ago. Poquito. 2025, anyone? Who's me? Let's see what else someone else is saying. I love this song. And they put I love it. Anyway, let's quickly mute right there. So this song is very addictive despite how long ago this was. I appreciate the person who recommended that I check this song out. Do you know what I mean? And this is the thing about music or anything. If you recommend something, this is how that artist and their fan base can continue to grow. Because like I said, she's based well, I don't know exactly where she's based, but she's Brazilian from what I'm aware of. So it's like I would have never known about her had it not been for me reacting to Ira Star's video, Woman Commander, which is available to watch, by the way. And it's just so interesting to me that, you know, I didn't realize that, you know what I mean? The type of artist that she is, that she seemed like she's a very much of a big deal. You know what I mean? To the point where you get someone like Sway Lee on the feature. Like, you know what I mean? Anyway, let's react to some more. Let me see something else. I was gonna react to might be way too long to react at this point. So I'm gonna try and, in fact, before I even get into that, let me know what let me see if you've leave in the comments, live chat, got anything else to say. I've only reacted to 2 things and we're 30 minutes in. Anyway, by the way, my name is Buster, aka the Alkebulan Trust Reacts. You can trust when it comes to all things reactions. And right now we're going to react to let me see if it's on the list. Feel Arie by Lucky Dube. Yeah. So if you're a Lucky Dube fan, make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification, make sure you share. Yeah, let's just get straight into it. No long thing, let's go. Poquita.
This is how I use a Google Pixel 9 to capture my adventures.
Yeah.
Centrum Men, personalized for his needs with vitamin D, calcium and magnesium. Centrum, tailored to you.
Wait. Shoot, shoot, do, do. All right, let's go. I know how they're doing that as well. They're swinging their cloth. You know what I'm saying? They're swinging their cloth. It's swag. Okay, so from what I'm seeing here, it feels more like it's supposed to be like a circus act, but at the same time, I wasn't trying to prejudge or anything like that because I was seeing one particular like person looking like a masquerade in it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not going to associate that with being with a circus if I want to be completely real with you. You know what I mean? Like, if you know, you know. But so yeah, this is interesting. Let's see the journey of this music video. Hopefully there's no, you know, not exploitive, but explicit content like the previous one I tried to react to. Like, anyway, I won't go into it, but let's go. I think I'm understanding the circus theme for part of this music video so far. The fact that he said how long you carrying the burdens on your shoulders, and you're seeing, you know, those circus acts like having people on their shoulders. It's the painting of the picture of what he's singing about. You know what I mean? It brings it to life. You know what I mean? Let's go. Oh, yeah.
We all have troubles now and again. Know what I'm saying? No matter how
God forbid, I rebuke that in Jesus' name. I rebuke that in Jesus' name. I hear what he's saying, and I understand the message that he always brings in his music, but I don't personally appreciate this particular message in terms of trouble always find your way. No, I don't even think it's that. Yeah, I think it's the case of there can be challenges, but it's how you handle those challenges. Do you know what I mean? If you have a positive mind frame, or even if you're not even thinking about anything negative or positive, you just have a mind frame to just resolve those challenges, is what it is. Do you know what I mean? And then this is just a personal thing for me, innit? Yeah. For me, it's always God first. Do you know what I mean? God handles the challenges and knows that you're gonna get through those challenges one way or the other, because God is gonna take you through those challenges. He's gonna see you through. You know what I mean? You're gonna be in a better situation out of those challenges. That's the way I look at it. And that's just only from personal experience. You know what I mean? Obviously, your journey with God is your journey with God. My journey with God is my journey with God. Yeah. So yeah, I'll keep it as simple as that. But I hear what you're saying. But nah, like I said, I rebuke that in the name of Jesus. Let's go. Amen.
People had trouble since the Pope was an altar boy. People had worries from when the Dead Sea was only critical. You see, hear those drums rolling and listen to those guitars skanking, yeah.
Why are they coming with so much swag? Even from the beginning, that get me. Was it? I listen. Now they're just stepping with the swag. You know what I'm saying? What are you saying? I'm gonna read it up for when they enter. Yeah, like listen. I mean, yeah, they put a smile on my face. Okay, like they put a smile on my face. I mean, I was smiling before, but it's just, yeah. Let's go.
Let me tell you how we feel. We feel irate. We feel irate.
Okay, obviously, he followed the path of what's the word? A Rastafarian. Obviously he's got locks, so it makes sense he could, but that's neither here or there whether they're a Rastafarian or not. And again, everyone's religious background, I say again, but everyone's religious background is their own religious background. Whatever spiritual beliefs you believe in is whatever you believe in. Yeah, I'm not here to tell anyone to believe in whatever they want to believe in. You know what I mean? All I'm here to do is to react. You know what I mean? So let me know what your thoughts on it so far. By the way, if you haven't hit the subscribe button, just hit that subscribe button right now. Like, leave a comment, share. Again, we want me to show you in the live chat. Even in the live chat, we'll give you a shout out. You know what I mean? Yeah, man, let's keep it moving. Shoot it. All right, listen. Oh yeah, that's the Arie is associated with Rastafari. Arie is so good. I remember. I just like how the is it a trumpet or the saxophone? I can't remember which one type of instrument it is. I just like how it's two different ones and they sway from one side to another. I like that. I like that. Or the trumpet. Saxophone. I don't know. I used to know my instrument.
Can hide from his fears. Since they are part of him, they'll always know where to find him. Come on.
That's deep. And it's making me realize even more. Fear only God. Let's go.
Walk tall and keep your head high. I tell you again and again, keep a smile on your face. Don't let troubles get you down.
Okay.
We've got passion, we've got determination. Like, and if we set our sights on
I mean, that song definitely had passion. It definitely had determination because the message, from what I understand, is you need to have passion and determination to get through the challenges or any issues you may be going through. You know what I mean? Because you know what I mean, to put a smile on your face. Anyway, let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. Let me read these comments as well. I have tears on my eye. I have tears on me. I didn't realize that growing up with his music was such a blessing. As we South Africans, we don't appreciate our own while there. I mean, I don't even think it's that. Like, obviously, I'm not South African, but I can relate in terms of the certain artists you may feel like you grew up listening to, and then you know what I mean, and like you feel as though you didn't appreciate them then, but that's completely wrong. If you listen to them then at that particular moment, you know what I mean? It's like, think about it. You have to put yourself in a mind frame where it's just in the moment situation, because sometimes you don't appreciate, not that you don't appreciate, you don't know, or maybe at a time in that moment you may know there's a message being said, but you don't understand the message being said. You know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? There's songs out there from when I was like, what, 4 or 5 years old. I ain't understanding what they're singing or rapping or they're singing or rapping about. I don't know. But then maybe years later or decades later, with the knowledge I have, it's like, okay, I appreciate that more. I understand it more now. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just, and even if you were old enough to understand and you didn't know then, it's like, it is what it is. Don't be too hard on yourself, man. Anyway, one of our South Africans, many gifts to the world. He was our idols growing up in Nigeria. See, I like that. Get me? Despite South Africa trying to be the new rivals for Nigeria, I like that. Anyway, man, I did not appreciate his music when I was younger, and my dad would be blasting his masterpiece on repeat. Now it's so damn nostalgic. See, this is why parents need to continue doing this. Like, continue to play the music that you feel should be played in the household, that your kids need to be listening to, and it's a subconscious thing at the end of the day, because it's oh, this is perfect. This is perfect. All right, look, here we are. So the Crew for a prime example. You see, growing up at that time when that song came out, and even the song after that, 21 Seconds, and then you had all the other songs that came out from So the Crew and Oxford and Neutrino from So the Crew and all that stuff there, and then realizing that, like, for example, Ashley D, aka Ashley Waters, get me, is in a TV series called Adolescence, and then also Top Boy, all these other shows, right, and movies and stuff like that. Growing up, before those recent TV shows I just mentioned, get me, at the time with that particular song and that music and all that stuff there, I didn't understand, or nor did I know how impactful So the Crew are in the UK. Do you understand? Especially South London, especially across London, because without So Solid, like, there is no grime music. That's just facts. I don't care. I don't want to say I don't care what no one says. That, like, there's an article like when grime was called grime, it was because of So Solid. You know what I mean? It's funny because anyway, I won't go too deep into it, but what I'm trying to say is it opened the doors for many other artists, and it's changed their lives. It changed so many lives in a positive way. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So obviously, yeah, you could talk about messages and songs and all that stuff there, but sometimes there's the impact of the artist or the group that they make that you may not know then when it was happening, but you now know as an adult, or you may now know at the certain age that you are. Do you get it? That's how I'm breaking it down. But let's read my comments real quick. I'm gonna put this song most definitely put a smile on my face. Shoop 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 dum dum dum. Anyway, let me know what your thoughts are on that song. Get me. Let me not what's the word I'm looking for? Let me not go off into a tangent. Do you know what I mean? Because I can go off into a tangent sometimes. But yeah, man, let me know what your thoughts are. If you've got any shout outs, let me know. Want me to shout you out? I can do it here and now. You can leave it in the comment. You can leave it in the live chat. I'm looking at the live chat right now as we speak. You know me? So you want to leave a comment, get me, do so right now. Otherwise, I'm going to switch over back to the tab in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Anyway, so the next one we're going to react to, by the way, my name is Versatile, aka the Alkebulan Trust, the name you can trust when it comes to all things reactions. Gonna react to Chief Priest featuring BoyPee, Brown. So I just seen a notification. Brown, Joel, and Hyce. Or Hyce, is it Hyce? For more money. So listen, if you're a Chief Priest fan, hit the subscribe button. I mean, technically, if you are a fan of BoyPee, hit the subscribe button. So it's gonna be interesting because I didn't know Chief Priest makes music. I didn't know that. When I say I promise you I didn't know that, I didn't know that. But now I know that. But yeah, yeah, let's just get straight into it. But yeah, man, let's go. Convoy, yeah. Give me shout out to Davido and Chris Brown and that. If you know, you know. Oh, what's the name of that tune? I don't think I've done a reaction video to that song actually. If I can, I will. It just depends because Davido signed to a particular label that I have issues with when it comes to reacting to content. You know what I mean? So let's keep moving. Let's go.
These boys are small boys, but they are wicked. These are dangerous boys.
All right, so for immediately, I feel like what I'm seeing here with this particular song is like so far, I like the fact that they're being very cultured. If that makes sense. They're maintaining their culture, basically, from what I'm seeing in the video, and I respect that. You know what I mean? Because look, we live in a world. We live in a world in a social media era, by the way, where it's so easy to just be like, okay, that's trending. This is what's popping. So, and if it looks more quote unquote westernized, it's so easy to just be like, ah, let's just go with that. Because before, for a long time, it was trying to be more westernized because that's what's popping. But now, I'm seeing I won't even say it's a trend. I'm seeing a lot more where more artists, especially younger artists, especially from back home, are just being like, yo, this is my culture. This is where I'm from. And I'm going to show you who I am. You know what I mean? Let's go. Wait, Chief Priest is actually, you know, sometimes you could put your name to a song because you're either part of the production or whatever the case may be. But the fact that he's actually got lyrics, nah, wait. But that edit was cold though, where it had the pinky ring, yeah, like the cold, icy pinky ring, and it just transitioned into it. That's cold. Let's go. Boom.
For their mind say CP I will never fail at all. As plenty money coming.
CP will never fail at all, of course, because guess who's, get me? Listen, he is the apprentice of who? Alright, listen, if you know, you know. Hit the subscribe button. Let's go. Get me?
For their mind say CP I will never fail at all. As plenty money coming so they no fit to bargain. What an ayeze, CP money long and the biggest what is better than money.
CP plot money long. I listen. My money long too. Don't get that twisted. Amen. Let's go.
No fit to bargain. What an ayeze, CP money long and the biggest what is better than money. I study hustle for my mommy. And I be steady winning on a daily.
I don't know whose idea it was, but to use the ice, you're talking about from the ring, the pinky ring, and now the watch, and you're zooming it, that edit or the transition, whatever you want to call it, is just a cold concept. Do you know what I mean? Pun intended. Hit the subscribe button. Let's go. You get me?
I need the carry last. When I the first is for Jordan. But if I no make the rapper, but this man no go look my side. And if you making me they wonder,
this tune's a banger still. This tune's a banger. I didn't know what to expect in it because Chief Priest, what? Chief Priest doing music. I guess it's another way or reason why his money's long. You know what I mean? I mean, anyway, let's go.
Money now, what I know be judge. All the heroes, dollars, all I want for.
That doesn't mean we're gonna see Chief Priest featuring Flavor one day. You know what I mean? Hey, you never know. Does it mean we're gonna see Chief Priest featuring Larry Gaga? You never know. I can never say this guy's name properly. But anyway, shout out to Larry Gaga. Larry Gaga. Anyway, let's go. Enter the room. Aura. Oh, you know, the aura. It's just the aura. Get me? CP has stepped into the building. Get me? You ain't even got to say it. Do you know what I mean? Like, you just feel the aura. The levels. There's levels. There's levels. There's levels. Let's go.
Money now, what I know be judge.
Gave the money away. I reckon by Pink, I'm gonna have to go through a journey of figuring out how much videos has
in the book. You'll discover How to become
Bro,
an
I will discover how much videos Pink has directed. Like, I'm gonna go through that journey. You know what I'm saying? Because talking about money being long, their money must be long. You know what I'm saying? Their money must be long. Anyway, shout out to Chief Priest. Like, I promise you, I would never have expected him to make a music video in regards to like making music, first of all. You know what I'm saying? First of all, let me hit that subscribe button. But by the way, by the way, hold on. You cannot have a YouTube channel like this and you're making music and I haven't subscribed. No, I'm subscribing today. And you can subscribe to my channel if you haven't subscribed yet, and you'll get notifications when I go live. Most importantly, because most content I'm going to be reacting live, and any other videos I will post and you'll get notified. You know what I mean? But let's see what people say in the comments real quick. When money is no longer the problem, may our health never start troubling us. Amen. May our health never start troubling us, regardless of our money situation. How about that? Amen. Hand we touch my comment won't no poverty. Amen. Amen. I like these. Who's here because of CP? I mean, it's his channel. It's his channel. All right, listen. Not gonna hold on. Not gonna lie. Well, hold on. Not gonna lie. This song took me by surprise, but it's good to see Chief Priest doing music, but it has me thinking what else does no, it has me thinking, how can I continue to hustle for my money so it maintains being long? And also, I like how he gave away that money in the end. You got me? Yeah. Shout out to Chief Priest. Get me? Shout out to BoyPee. Shout out to Brown Joel and Hyce. Listen, I listen. I appreciate content like this, man. I genuinely do. Like that. Nah, you have to understand there's levels to this. I didn't expect this. Like when I say I genuinely didn't expect this, I genuinely didn't expect this. I'm conflicted because there's one particular video I want to react to. I might have to do it on the next stream because I need to also react to something else. So we're gonna pop over to X right now. Get me? I don't like calling it X. It's Twitter. It's Twitter. Hit the subscribe button, by the way. By the way, let me just see if you've got any shout outs you want me to do right now. Let's see. Let's see. The UK version caused so much carnage. I don't even know what that is. I ain't gonna lie to you still. Anyway, listen. Oh, well, stay secured. Okay, qualified. South Africa to the World Cup, Qatar 2025. FIFA under 17. Shout out to South Africa. But anyway, this is not what we came here for. We came here for this particular content. A US born woman, now residing in Ghana. So, by the way, my name is Buster, aka the Alkebulan Trust, a name you can trust when it comes to all things reactions. And right now, I'm going to react to this particular content in regards to. Let me just read it off my list here. A US-born woman now residing in Ghana is spearheading an initiative. It's right there, actually. A US-born woman now residing in Ghana is spearheading an initiative to create a diaspora community. Having purchased a substantial tract of land, she plans to divide and property and offer plots to sell of individual interest in joining the community. Now, here's my issue with this. We're going to play the video first. I'm going to say my piece, but yeah, let's keep it moving now. Let's keep it moving. And I don't even like to say there's an issue or anything like that, but
I love how they see just they make me they shout hallelujah. I say all the blessings I love how they see just they make me they shout. It's okay. Oh yeah, shake body. Oh yeah, move body. Make you ring alarm. Oh yeah, shake body. Them girls just they feel me now, cause I get some money, then they feel me now. Back then they do me anyhow. I don't get some money, they wanna get down. They want hold me for ransom, cause I'm young and I'm rich and I'm handsome. They want know where I come from. I they run since from Lagos to London. All the blessings I love, I they see just they make me they shout hallelujah. I say all the blessings I love, I they see just they make me they shout hallelujah. They hold me for ransom, cause I'm young and I'm rich and I'm handsome. They want hold me for ransom, cause I'm young and I'm rich and I'm handsome. Oh yeah, shake body.
we will not drain your community. All right, listen. All right, listen. I'm gonna say my piece here. This is just my piece. You don't go to now. Listen. Just hear me out for a few minutes. Yeah, just hear me out for a few minutes, just for a few seconds in regards to this particular situation, and we're going to read someone else's comments and their thoughts. You don't go to someone else's country, and now one could argue, if you trace back your ancestry, maybe you do come from Ghana and that particular side of Ghana or whatever. Cool, that's fair. And if it is if you have been given land to build and maintain and all that stuff there, that's one thing. But to purchase land to be able to create a community where you're creating division, this is why they say, now this isn't facts, this is just misinformation. When they say, oh, Africans do not like or have a disdain to African Americans. Now, like I said, that's misinformation. But then when you create things like this would be one reason to why that could potentially happen in the future. So I would just say be very careful in what you're doing. Like very, very careful. I can understand the obviously you want to build, you want to create, you want to do all that stuff there, but you're creating division. Like if you're going to these countries, like bear this in mind, yeah. She was US born. I don't know where in America she's from. I really don't. All right. Now, it's all fun and games when I don't want to use the word fun and games. In life, you have to make sure that you do not rub people off the wrong way. Now, one could say that there's good intention, and I understand it, but so was colonialism. I can't say that word properly. You know what I mean? In the context of, we will give you a protectorate. We're going to protect you from other people trying to colonize you. You know what I'm saying? That I ain't saying is that, but you get the point I'm trying to make. Now, look. Like I said, I don't know. For me, it's just it's very I don't even know the word is. I want to use the word weird, but I just find it very wrong. You know what I'm saying? If you're building land, like I want to know what am I like things with this, yeah, because obviously he's from Ghana and stuff like that. So it'd be interesting to know what his thoughts are. But I just don't like this idea. And then you're using the irony is you're using Skells' classic song, Shea Body as well. So I just think you're I don't know. Let's just keep it moving for a second. Let's just keep moving. Let's go. Let's see what people say in the comments. All right. So let me get this right. Right. This lady has brought land in Ghana, is presumably going to use the locals for cheap labor, then only allow foreigners to reap the benefits. There's so many reasons why Ghanaian government should stop this. And I understand you want the Ghanaian government to stop it because obviously, you know what I mean? But I think so long as the locals can do what's necessary to try and stop it, you know what I mean? Then it's up to them. Because what's the like? Let's be real. What are the government gonna really do? You know what I mean? Like, let's be real. What are they going to do? I don't think they're gonna do anything. They're the ones that are already opening like the doors for everyone to get their citizenship. Yeah, because I remember there was a time when they were giving out citizenship, but it wasn't just for African Americans or black people or whatever. Like, it literally was open access for everyone, from what I remember. I'll come back to that post for another day. If you know, you know. Yeah. Let's see what else people are saying. Oh, she may be US born, but now, what? Why to know if she's ethnically AA or not? AA catching the beat heat once again as people speed off with the narrative. No ability to verify. Also, a husband's business partner is given Ghanaian. You can do anything in Ghana when you love the Lord too. Excuse me. Okay. So this is another thing why it's good that I kind of delayed reacting to this, because I don't know the context of this. Do you know what I mean? And even so, I still think it's wrong anyway. Like, you think, even with me, like me being Nigerian, I was born in the UK, right? And clearly you can tell by my accent, right? And you think I can go to like Nigeria and then buy land and then create land to create division in terms of only those from the diaspora can live in this particular community? No? Are you insane, bruv? Nah, don't be doing that, bruv. Like, I'm glad I put myself in that perspective. Do you know what I'm saying? Because now it makes me realize how ridiculous it sounds. And are those captions actually real? That's another thing, because we don't know. Those captions might not necessarily be real. And if they are, fair play. I say fair play, but it's not really fair play because it's unfair play. But let's see. Let's see what other people are saying. I'm moving to Ghana. African woman purchased a plot of land in Ghana. There's more? Hang on. Okay, that might not be the same person. I wanna go back to the comments in regards to this particular person. Because I just let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. What are your genuine thoughts? Like genuine thoughts. When you like, forget the facts. In fact, let's take things as face value. We know on the video it says what it says. We know the caption, it says what it says. So let's take things at face value. What are your thoughts? Is this wrong or is this right? Like, and regardless of whatever country you're from, even if it's outside of Africa, you could be from I don't know, South Korea. You know what I'm saying? Your thoughts are still your thoughts are still valid and necessary, because this is, to me, this is a big deal. Like, there's many ways to spin this narrative, but this is a big deal. Let's see what people are saying. Locals won't be able to buy land and other properties. Nothing to celebrate here. You see? That part. Locals won't be able to buy land and other properties. Nothing to celebrate here. All right. This is a time, but let me mind my damn business. And just saying, creating a separate America in Ghana is foul play. Americans live this side, Ghanaians live that side. Segregation of who diaspora and who's locals, not good news. If you love your African roots, then blend. And I'm glad they mentioned that, because in terms of, I'm glad they mentioned about segregation as well. And because the whole comment, I respect that, yeah. I like the fact that they mentioned segregation because African Americans went through a segregation. So did Black British as well. Don't get it twisted. And so did Africans as well, especially South Africans. They went through segregation, right, in their own land. Now, what I'm trying to say is this: it's like if your ancestors, if your how many generations is that? That's not that many generations in terms of the segregation, this Jim Crow law, what the Jim Crow thing. You know what I mean? There's if your family was in that unfortunately went through that, are you gonna, you know what I mean? Like, but again, I don't know everything verbatim. You know what I mean? I don't know the facts, but let's keep reading. History repeats. You see, hopefully it's better managed and no war this time. Yeah, I can't. There's no All right. Well, let's see what people saying. They may be scamming. They're going to take the land back in due. No, let her invest and build and come to her like, nope, we're taking this. Yeah, I don't think they can do that. I don't know. Her and her husband William Abbey does this backstory and sound familiar. Okay, let's read this backstory. A God-fearing, positive married couple with the purpose of sharing a message of hope and possibility with the world, William and Abbey have unique story and are using the testimony of God's greatness in their lives to impact the world. Okay. The breast holes with the abbreviation TBH has poised in connecting the diasporans all over the world to facilitate the return to the motherland. Celebrating 3 years of excellence in diasporan services and over 5 years of seamless and processing facilitation of governmental services and application, we poised in becoming leading. I can't be able to click on that to see what else it says, to be honest. So I can't even lie to you. See, we went all the way to Ghana for this. In Rwanda, you can't purchase more than a set size of land as a foreigner, and you have to explain what it will be used for. They are neck to neck when it comes to property ownership as a foreigner. I don't know if Ghana has laws. That's rude. No, but I like as much as. See, this is what I feel like needs to be done. I don't know what the laws are in terms of buying property in like across the pond or any other land, especially in Ghana. I don't know what the laws are. But if Rwanda had that law, I credit them for having that law because it makes sense. It's like you think you can come to England and buy up certain amount of, you know what I mean? Or you can come to America. In fact, even in America, do you think you can do that? I don't think you can. I don't think you can. Even though there's this one person that actually has, she's her own mayor. Like, I promise you, she's literally her own mayor. She's her own sheriff. Like, she's the only person in her state. It is amazing. Anyway, offer plots as who? This is nonsense, man. How are the locals not against this? Shame on her and anyone that celebrates this. So Black Americans are going to have to show the Africans how to build their countries. Tired of hearing they fled for opportunities. Which Black Americans paid the price for when they literally have trillions of dollars resources under their feet? Hear me out though. I hear what they're saying. There's trillions of dollars under their feet, but there's certain. If you understand history and you understand, like for example. I'll give you an example. Look what's happening if this person is American, for example, if they are in America. Let me be careful with the words I'm saying. But it's almost as if history, in some sense, is repeating itself, if that makes sense. And it's not just with one country. It's not just with two countries. And funny enough, they met to South Africa. So anyway, I'm not even going to do too deep because I can go off into a tangent. And her husband is full Ghanaian. So why is everyone upset? Yeah. Here's the thing, yeah. The husband may be Ghanaian, but again, I don't think it's people being upset. I just think it's like, it's just I don't even know. If people are upset, they're upset. Me, I'm not even upset. I'm like, I'm shocked and dismayed that this is at face value. This is the intention. You know what I mean? Because I'm looking at it from so many angles, like so many angles. Anyway, let's read. What going to the next one? Was that Liberia or Sierra Leone with the African Americans starting behaving like white people to natives? We heard this story before. It was actually South Africa, from what I recall. Anyway, this is funny. Ordinary Ghanaians do not have access to land. Now, this is where it gets interesting. If you're Ghanaian, please let me know. This is why I want to know what Amaya thinks in regards to this. This is funny. Ordinary Ghanaians do not have access to land and let you have African Americans with huge purchasing power buying swaths of land. There's something wrong with our land tenure system. This needs to be corrected. You can't have foreigners buying lands to sell. That's interesting. I didn't know that. Also want to know what VP in the car thinks about this on the 90s Baby show as well. I want him to talk about this. This is a big deal. I can't even lie to you. It feels that way. I don't know how it's done in Ghana, but I've seen all the wrong tools in use. Subdivision with tape measure, paving with a back. At least they're honest. Them people don't want her there. Maybe they do. Folk trying to spread division are mostly no-face bots. Nah, listen, it's not. Here's the thing, yeah. It's not the case of people trying to create division. It's a case of we blatantly seen a video of someone, like, again, I don't know the person who posted this video in terms of this particular on Twitter. I don't know if it's them behind that account who posted that video, if it's their own video or they got it from somewhere else. I don't know. But the case is we can vividly see with our own two eyes what's going on here. You know what I mean? So that's nothing to do with a bot trying to create division. Now, if they were to create another video and say what they needed to say, and they said this is out of context, this is not what we're doing, you know what I mean? Like all we're doing is building our home. We're building, you know what I mean? Then it's different. But that's the issue. I feel like you don't have to show what you're doing. Just do what you're doing, and when it's done, if you want to show off, show off. If you don't want to show off, don't show off. That's how I feel it should be done. You don't need to go onto Instagram or go onto Snapchat or go onto or any social media profile and be like, oh, look, I was born in this country and now I'm in an African country and now I'm doing this and that. You know what I mean? Relax. Relax. Like, obviously, yeah, it's good to show that you've gone to this particular African country or Caribbean country, whatever country you go into. That's fine. I'm not saying don't post your experiences. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is if you're building something, you don't need to tell people you're building something, because what is the purpose? I always look at it from that angle. What is the purpose unless you're telling so people can help you? But again, I'm just me in it. I'm me. Anyway, let's keep it moving. Bring this money to Otter. Folks, okay, let's get to one more. I'm gonna see if I could get to how about the indigenous Ghanaians? See, get your money, but if this becomes overly successful, the local Ghanaians will target the diaspora folk. And no, that won't happen. I doubt that. Deport as of yesterday. This is just buying land, subdividing and selling for profit. I think this has been happening in this country for years. What does she spearhead again? Okay, so it's been happening before. That's interesting, and that wouldn't surprise me. I'm so proud of her. I will support her the way I can. Been seeing this since the year of the return 2018. She's fulfilling the prophecy. Anybody saying otherwise is just engagement farming and having no clue what they're talking about, or hard money to land, energy and invest to share. See, I understand what they're saying, but you know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of This reminds. Give me a second. I just want to make sure. Okay. This reminds me of. This reminds me of. There's a particular individual who mentions. In fact, I'm not going to get into that. You know what I mean? Because yeah, I understand what goes on with that situation. But anyway, let's keep it moving because end of the day, this is not what we're about. We're about unity. Yeah. And speaking about unity, all right. Give me a second, let's pull it up. By the way, my name is Versatile, aka the Alkebulan Trust, and name you can trust when it comes to all things reactions. In fact, before we get into that, if you've got anything else for me to react to, or sorry, any shout out you want me to shout out, I'll try and do that now. But anyway, my name is Versatile, aka the Alkebulan Trust, and name you can trust when it comes to all things reactions. So right now, as you can see, I am about to react to the Unity Cup. Okay, so what is the Unity Cup? And I'm glad I've segued into this because I prefer to talk about unity rather than division. So the Unity Cup is a basically it's a tournament, a mini tournament, a 4-team tournament with Ghana, ironically, Nigeria, Jamaica, and Trinidad and Tobago competing for the Unity Cup this summer. So this is going to be a very, very interesting piece of this is going to be a very interesting piece of tournament. And hear me out. I think it's good to have, but it's got me thinking there needs to be another type of tournament. There needs to be, with the African Cup of Nations, yeah, I think there needs to be like another. Okay, this is technically more football being played. I get it, but like there needs to be like a league table of African nations, yeah, like every African nation, because then every African nation gets a chance, right? Now, the winner of that face the league, so they will have to. How do I explain it? So you got that league, then you got the league for the Caribbean or South America, but let's just say Caribbean, right? And there may not be as many as in comparison to the African nation, but the top two, so the first, they have a final of. You get what I'm trying to say? Like, so then they face off, and it's the best of. Like, I think that would be dope. You know what I mean? And then obviously when it comes to the opening of the ceremony and stuff like that, you got people from that particular country. You know what I mean? Or those countries, should I say? They are promoting their businesses. They're promoting their entertainment services, their food services, all of that. I've got ideas. Don't get it twisted. You hear me? Like, if you want to invest in that idea, holler at me. Trust me, I'm telling you, this can actually genuinely work. You hear me? Because football, when you think about it, in these particular football is a big deal. Like, it's a very big deal. And there's a lot of talented individuals within these nations. Do you know what I mean? Because I ain't being funny. I'll be real. When it comes to the World Cup, will we ever see a Caribbean nation win the World Cup? Maybe. But when? Will we ever see an African nation win the World Cup? Maybe. But when? Like, it's so uneven. Like, how the countries are put in is so uneven because there's not that many African nation spots. Like, it took Morocco reaching a semi-final of the previous World Cup for the African spots to be opened up for more spots. How does that make any sense? Do you understand? How does that make any sense? It's like the game is rigged. Do you know what I mean? In the words of Franklin Saint, the game is rigged. But anyway, whether the game is rigged or not, let's just get straight into this one real quick. Give me a second. So yeah, so London will host a fourth. In fact, by the way, who do you think will win out of this tournament though? If this tournament was really to go ahead, like who do you think like is likely to win it? You got Ghana, Nigeria, Jamaica, and Trinidad and Tobago. I could be biased and say Nigeria, yeah. But Ghana are on a good form right now. I can't even lie. Jamaica, you can't really count them out because of Steve McLaren. Like he's a good manager. Don't ever. I'm not even gonna disrespect that. Like he's a really good manager. So you just never know. But I do feel like Nigeria in a weird spot, yeah, because it's like they got on paper they are a great side, but if they can sort out the defense, I'm telling you, they will be back to being a force to be reckoned with. You know what I mean? Even though I know in previous World Cups we haven't really done as well, but that's neither here or there. Get me? Anyway, but yeah. But even says the Ghana national team has announced the 14 tournament called the Unity Cup, set to take place in London in May 2025. So it's May, not okay. So the 4 nations will be Ghana, Nigeria, Jamaica, and Trinidad and Tobago. Let's see what the comments are saying. See, look, it's even here on Black Stars, Ghanaian Black Stars. It's real. It's genuinely real. This isn't fake. This is not fake. So Eric Chill, I can't even say his name. Is it Eric Chill, the Nigerian manager? He has now got time on his hand to try and perfect the defensive issues within Nigeria before the World Cup qualifications, because we have to qualify for the World Cup. We have to. Ghana are more or less qualified. You know what I'm saying? So that's fine. So even if they were not to win this tournament, then it's fine. But I don't think they will act as if they want to lose this tournament. That don't get it twisted. They're competitive. So England. Okay, I'm trying to speak broken, but I can't even speak broken. So England no they some play some. Okay. So England no they play some. Why London and not one of the cities in these 4 countries? That's a good shout. That's a good shout. It makes sense. Oh look, Janet Sheridan. Why? And I know what Janet they're talking about. Janet Jackson, not Janet Hubert, but Janet Jackson. You know how I know? Because it's Janet Jackson. Anyway, a comfortable victory for the Super Eagles. Listen, our confidence holds no bounds. We could be playing the most poorest games in recent times, but our confidence hold no bounds. You know what I mean? Even though some people now feel like we're not going to qualify for the World Cup, because I've seen the post. But anyway, next time use Thomas Partey or Inaki Williams to rep Ghana. The problem is, okay, Nico Williams is the one that represents Spain. Okay. But they're talking about the picture. I get it. Why is not taking place in Ghana? That's a good question. We'll play Trinidad and Tobago instead. That's a disrespect. Why is Unity Cup not taking place in Ghana? Okay, how do we get tickets? It could have been Ghana, 1 Caribbean and 1 East Africa and 1 North Africa. Do you see what I'm trying to say? That makes sense. And I think maybe the idea that this makes me break down my idea even further. The idea of having 1 African nation. So all right, you have the East Division, the West Division. I don't know where the Central Division would be because there's only like a few nations within Central. However, I feel like there's many divisions. Let me think. I don't know. I've got ideas, but let's see what happens. But who would win though? Like, no, for real. I reckon Nigeria would win it. But then how would it work? Are they playing each other twice? Or is it just one off? Or how would it work? And why is it only 4 teams? It could have been Ghana or one. Okay. They will surely qualify for the World Cup. Nigeria isn't going to the World Cup, you see? What is this doing to the list? An African country hosting a Unity Cup of the remaining British colonies in the capital of England. In London, no, it should be called the Colonial Cup. That's rude. And that is where we say, you know what? Let's keep it moving. Let's keep it moving. let's keep it moving. Let me know what your thoughts are. Like I said, who do you think is gonna win? I really want to see. I really want to see. I really want to see what happens. Well, this is interesting, but we're not going to react to that though. All right, so by the way, my name is Versatile, aka the Alkebulan Trust, the name you can trust when it comes to all things reactions. And right now, we're going to react to some home team history content. I've been meaning to do this for a while. In fact, I was going to react to something completely different, but this is the latest one. African queens who were present on the battlefield. So let's get straight into it. Before you even get straight into it, let's see if you've got any shout outs, want me to shout out. If you want me to shout you out, let's go. Anyway, let's go.
Ever wake up and think, oh no, yeah, me too. Until I stop letting tequila make my life decisions. If you've been trying to drink less on nights out or at home and it's not quite been going to plan, there is a reason for that, and it's not you, and it's not your lack of willpower. Let me explain. I'm Christine, creator of Be Sober A.
What up, African world? It's Home Team here, and welcome back to another video of African history, culture, and worldview. By supporting this channel on Patreon, you're helping in the creation of these videos and contributing to this content. The link to Patreon is in the description box below. Black women throughout history have always been involved in movements or revolutions. They tend to be the unseen work behind the cause. When one considers the role of African women in warfare, we learn that they weren't just bystanders, but active participants and initiators of battle on the African continent. Today, let's discuss some of the most well-known warrior queens in African history. So here are some of the top 5 greatest African warrior queens in history. I wanted to start with a legendary queen mother mentioned in the oral tradition of the Maasai people, Princess Yanenga. Now, Princess Yanenga later became considered a sort of queen mother of the Maasai people, but the oral tradition begins her story as a princess. Her father was said to be a king of a region in northern Ghana. Not only was she hailed,
as we were talking about Ghana earlier. Anyway, make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the notification. Let's keep it going. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Make sure you like, comment, and share. Let's go.
For her beauty.
Oh, you're right, babes. All right, babes.
But she was known as an excellent horse rider and a highly skilled warrior, a master of the bow and spear, and among the best in the nation. Her desire to get married caused some friction in her relationship with her father because he didn't want to lose such an excellent warrior to marriage. The legend goes as follows. Yanenga planted a beautiful field of wheat that impressed her father. Over time, Princess Yanenga allowed the field of wheat to rot. When her father inquired as to why she would do such a thing, she explained to her father that this is how he made her feel. Precious as you say I am, still you let me rot like the wheat in this field. Her father was...
Pause. Bars. Now we are rewinding that. When you talk about the analogy, you make me rot like the, nah. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Let's go.
Best in the nation. Her desire to get married caused some friction in her relationship with her father because he didn't want to lose such an excellent warrior to marriage. The legend goes as follows. Yanenga planted a beautiful field of wheat that impressed her father. Over time, Princess Yanenga allowed the field of wheat to rot. When her father inquired as to why she would do such a thing, she explained to her father that this is how he made her feel. Precious as you say I am, still you let me rot like the wheat in this field. Her father was angered, hardened his heart, and locked her away in his palace. She eventually escaped, establishing her own nation in the region of Burkina Faso, and is recognized as the Queen Mother of the Maasai people. Queen Gudi is also a legendary queen of Ethiopia. Her story principally comes from the Chronicle of Ethiopia of the 13th century. In another account, Gudi was said to be a princess from a royal house in Aksum. One source says that she converted to Judaism and wasn't fond of the...
By the way, I like the animation as well in this. I like the animation. I hope he continues with this type of theme, the animation. You know what I mean? I respect this. Let's go.
The Christian Empire of Aksum, likely due to her banishment. Vengeance was hers as she managed to amass an army and conquer Aksum, laying to waste many Christian churches and monuments. In literature, she is sometimes referred to as Asato, meaning fire. Queen Gudi went on to rule for 40 years.
Asato, what number is that in Igbo? That's I know my numbers, man. I know my numbers. I should know my numbers. Isn't it? You know what? I'll figure out.
Years, initiating the start of a new Aksumite dynasty. The Gudi legend, as it appears in the Chronicle, is partly based on historical fact. From other historical sources, it is known that around 970, Aksum was conquered by a queen who burned many churches.
Damn.
Queen Nzinga is one of my personal favorites. Her story,
50 Cent allegedly is going to do a TV show on. Now, I don't know when it will happen. I do think he will do it. It's just a matter of when he will do it. And I think the person who was, chosen to play Queen Nzinga is Nigerian, if memory serves me correctly. Which is fine, but I think sometimes it's always best to kind of go with someone who is actually from that country. That makes sense, because then it just gives another level of authenticity. That's just my thought. The same way that, you know, Little Meech is basically playing his dad. You know what I mean? You can't so I'm trying to figure out what number that is. Okay, Asato is 8. But yeah, like you can't it is what it is. You can act in it. If you could switch up accents and all that stuff there, that's different. But now it gets me thinking about when African Americans get mad and upset. Some get mad and upset when Black British actors take on particular roles. Just like, you know what I mean? You're not from here, but like, you know what I mean? But anyway, let's keep moving.
Story is incredible, and there's even a movie about her life. Queen Nzinga was an African queen of the 17th century during a time when the Portuguese were trying to gain control of the region of Angola. She's remembered as a great diplomat and skilled warrior. The salience of Queen Nzinga's legacy is that she had a unit of armed female bodyguards and was literally present on the battlefield. Nzinga brilliantly played on African and European politics to position herself in power. She formed alliances with the Dutch to counter Portuguese influence, and she installed herself as singular regent on the thrones of Ndongo and Matamba. Portuguese alliance with other Africans in the region posed a serious problem for Nzinga, but ultimately they were unable to gain a stronghold.
Let me find out that movie. I want to actually find out. Queen Nzinga movie. Okay. It's released in Angola on the 8th of November in 2013. Yeah, I'm gonna try and see if I can actually watch that movie and let me know what your thoughts. I'll let you know what my thoughts are. Yeah, Queen and Zigga is an upcoming television series on Stars, executive produced by Curtis 50 Cent Jackson and okay. Yeah, it's a TV series. The question is, when would it be released? Okay, if it's still in development and knowing how that network is, it's coming out in 2027. I know it sounds insane for me to say 2027 as if that's true. I'm assuming and predicting it's 2027 only because when it comes down to the reality of, from what I experienced with the Power series and BMF and all that stuff there, it's all that stuff there. Do you know what I'm saying? Like that's just my take on it, because I feel like they will prioritize the Power series over other series that 50 Cent wants to produce. Do you know what I mean? They still got another series as well that they want to partake in as well. But anyway, so at least we know now that really is in the works. It's not fictional, it's actual facts. So shout out to 50 Cent for that, even though, you know what I mean? Let's keep it moving, let's go.
Over her sovereignty, how she was able to survive the threats of African and European powers was quite impressive. Queen Amina was a Hausa warrior queen of northwest Nigeria, believed to have existed around the 16th century. Queen Amina was a state builder believed to have established the kingdom of Zaza. She is said to have been a great warrior queen and military strategist who built defensive walls around the city of Zaria. Though many questions arise about her rule and the details therein, there is, however, no doubting her influence and legacy. Sultan Muhammad Bello described her conquest as the most extensive of all the countries of Hausa, reaching the sea in the south and the west, which probably meant the confluence of the Niger and Benue rivers. According to Bello, even Katsina and Kano paid her tribute, but historians of these two emirates insist that there is no documentary evidence of this. Queen Amina is said to have dominated.
You see, this is why I try to say, oh, we've got no, like Africans got no history because it's not documented. If you dig deep enough, you realize there is a piece of evidence out there that suggests there is. Do you know what I mean? Like there's certain facts there. It's just whether you want to believe it or not. And the thing is, just because it may not be in a particular format that you're used to, and here's the thing, there's a lot of oral tradition that usually goes on. Do you know what I mean? And obviously, if you know about the term or the thing called Chinese whispers, you already know when it comes to Chinese whispers, that's basically oral tradition. You are being told a particular story. Like I used to play this in primary school, right? As well. So that's how I know that. And if there's like a 30 of you in one classroom, or let's just say 25 for the average size when I was in primary school, like you could go around the class, and by the time it gets to me, you know what I mean? From what I hear, it's going to be completely different, or not necessarily completely different, but it could be some parts of it may be different than what the original person said what it was. So that's why oral tradition is good in one sense, but it's also bad in one sense, because it's like, wait a minute now, you remix the story, right? Do you know what I mean? And it may not necessarily be their fault why they remix the story. It's just like you're hearing it from your own perception. You know what I mean? So that's how it goes sometimes. But anyway, but at the same time, there is like artwork that's been done, or artifacts. There's so many things that you can tell that the history is there. But let's go.
Dominated much of Hausa land for 34 years. Queen Amina was perhaps the first significant female conqueror in West African history that frequently participated in military expeditions. The greatest warrior queen of Africa is Queen Amanirenas. The unique thing about Queen Amanirenas is that she comes from a line of Kushite queens who were depicted in reliefs as warriors, evincing their active participation. In fact, she's even mentioned as the one-eyed Candace in the literature because of her active participation in battle. Queen Amanirenas is believed to have been on the throne of Meroe as early as 25 BC. She's famously known for her altercation with the Romans, which ultimately ended in a propitious treaty for the Kushites. The Romans were clear about their expansionist policy, according to scholar Laszlo Torik, in using the term in tutelam receptor. The Romans undoubtedly wanted Meroe to be a vassal. However, Roman failure to take Arabia along with Meroitic resistance encouraged Augustus to reconsider the expansionist policy. Queen Amanirenas opposed the taxes the Romans imposed on the Nubians living in Lower Nubia. This seems to have been the origin of the encounter. When most of the Roman soldiers left to invade Arabia, Meroe attacked Roman Egypt and ostensibly occupied Philae, Syene, and Elephantine, carrying off prisoners and the head of an Augustus statue. Roman response was swift under Petronius.
Well, damn. Carrying that. Listen, if that's what happened, that is what happened. You know what I'm saying? I'm taking. Cool.
Leading to the Battle of Dacca and the death of the Kushite king Pteritikos, leaving Queen Amanirenas as sole ruler. When Queen Amanirenas showed up with her army at Qasar Ibrim, instead of a military showdown, both parties agreed to sign a treaty. Through her resistance and diplomacy, she got the Roman taxes revoked. Her success in protecting Kushite sovereignty and her reputation as a warrior queen cannot be denied. Well, I'm all out, guys. If you like these videos and want to help in its continued production, consider supporting the home team on patreon.com. The link is in the description box below. Know thyself. Remember your ancestors. Peace.
I missed the actual proper outro, you know? Yeah. But yeah, man, let me know what your thoughts are on that as well. That was.
I love Monday.com.
What's Monday.com?
You know what I mean? Like it's just one of those it's just one of those things where you look at it and you're like, yo, there's a lot of things that have gone on in history that, you know, if you don't, if you don't give me a second. If you don't focus about the history of what's going on, not even focus on the history that's going on. Let's break it down like this. When it comes down to history, right? There's things that you're going to be told. There's things that you're not going to be told. But I feel like the way he broke it down and let us know in terms of these were the ones that were on the actual battlefield. These are the ones that, you know, these are the ones that you have to pay homage to. These are the ones that, you know what I mean? We got to know about these ones. You know what I mean? We need to know. We need to know. But let's keep it moving. Let's see what people say in the comments real quick. To all our warrior queens throughout history, may you continue to inspire our young women. Get me? You forgot Ntate Yala Mboje. She was the last Linje queen of Wala, a Jollof kingdom located in what is now northwest Senegal. During her reign, she defeated her kingdom from French colonization and Moorish invaders. Moorish invaders? Now that's very intriguing. I would like to know more. So, thanks for sharing. Do you know what I mean? See, look, great artwork. Hope the video gets a lot more views. It certainly deserves it. Once again, great content, and I like these new animations. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, by the way, let me know what your thoughts are. Who's your favorite if you were to name one in terms of that needs to make a movie, because obviously we mentioned about Queen, I think there's a movie being made already, and there's going to be a TV series. Let me know what also needs a TV series. Which one? You can say all of them if you want to, but you can list out the one that you want to see the most. You know what I mean? The one you will see the most. Leave your answer in the comments below. I'm not saying I'll be able to make it, but if I can, I'll try to. But that's not my profession, innit? And I don't have knowledge on how to. Otherwise, I definitely would. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, let's just keep it moving. You want to shout out, leave it in the comments on the live chat, and I'll try to give you a proper shout out and all that stuff there. But yeah, that was very, 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 very intriguing to me. Very, very intriguing. By the way, we're gonna react to something completely different. All right, so by the way, my name is Versatile, aka the Alkebulan Trust, a name you can trust when it comes to all things reactions. I'm gonna react to before they were famous, the Wizkid one. So let's just get straight into it. I'm not gonna try and pause as much anymore because I've got to get through 2 more pieces of content for me to react to. Give me a second. I don't know why my things have done that. All right, so let's keep it moving. Let's go.
With Adobe Express, creating everything we need to share a home fragrance business is easy. Now, every day can be a little more special for people around the world.
I think like music is Africa. You know, music is from Africa for me because, you know, right from when we didn't even have instruments, you know, people just be on like the decks or whatever and just make music, create music.
Before Wizkid would become one of the biggest global musicians, winning Artist of the Year and Song of the Year at the African Music Awards. Before he would drop hits like Energy, Fever, Come Closer, Like This, Can't Believe, Holla at Your Boy, and more. I mean, basically every song he's put out is...
You hear what you can say? Basically, every song he's put out is hits.
Been a smash. Before Wizkid would work with Ty Dolla $ign, Trey Songz, Wale, Akon, Major Lazer, Skepta, Beyonce, and before he would have himself a #1 song as a feature on Drake's One Dance. That song is my jam. Before Wizkid would become the first Nigerian musician.
Oh, he's a OVO. We're gonna continue to watch anyway. You know what I mean? We'll continue to watch anyway because we're here for Wizkid. No OVO.
To have over 1 million followers on Twitter. Now, Wizkid is already a massive star, and I can acknowledge when we're late on someone for this show. Now, this is one of those cases, because long before we heard One Dance, well, Wizkid was already performing in front of massive crowds. But it seems like he's finally getting his due shine in America. Now, his new single, it already has more than...
Yeah, I'm glad he said that. I'm glad he said that as a OVO. Like, I'm glad he said that, yeah, because, and let me give him some respect. Like, I'm glad he said that because there is this sense that, actually, I won't even say it, forget it. If you know, you know. I don't want to even mention the guy's name.
More than 3 million views in under a week, and he's worked with some of the biggest names in music globally. But before all the fame and success, well, Wizkid, he was making music with his church group and hitting the studio on a daily basis, while learning from the greats around him. And in the meantime, the man was observing everything while patiently waiting for his big shot. What's going on, guys? It's boy Michael McCrudden walking you through the life and career of Wizkid prior to fame. Here for you, of course, up before they're famous. Now, we've recently covered other artists like Burna Boy, and we did an epic on Kanye West, so be sure to check those out after we do this video. Also, I got a trivia question for the super fans out there. What was Wizkid's first car? Place your guesses down below. If you get it right, I'll follow you on Instagram or Twitter. Alright, now let's get into this video. Also, please forgive me if I pronounce anything incorrectly. Now, I look up the pronunciation and I really do try my best, but my Canadian accent, it can sometimes butcher just about anything.
Okay, that's why he's a ho. But there are some Canadians that don't, you know, mess with Drake, so it is what it is.
But
anyway,
I apologize. Let's get into this video.
before music? What was life like in Nigeria for you?
It was crazy, man. Before music was tough, man. You know, I come from Mujelegba, the real ghetto from Surulere.
Ayodeji Ibrahim Balogun was born on July 16, 1990 in Surulere, which is a residential and commercial area of Lagos.
Coming from that side, you can only just hope that, you know, like you're gonna have a better life. I'll pray. Because sometimes school is not even enough, you know, especially for the type of government we have back home.
Now, Wizkid, he grew up in a household of 12 female siblings. Yeah, I said that right, 12. Now, he said growing up with so many women, well, he had this to say. Learn to listen to what women go through. I also have a lot of female friends and pay attention to their stories. So a lot of my songs are inspired by the thoughts and feelings of women. But his household, it gets even more interesting. Now, his mother is a Pentecostal Christian and his father practices Islam. So, you know, he was exposed to different viewpoints from a young age, which influenced him to have an open mind.
I would never change that, because that is something that has helped me in being who I am today. And I never one time had an argument about the religion or what the kids wanted to do, because my dad would be like, yo, do whatever you want. If you want to be a Muslim, cool, go to the church. If you want to go to the mosque, go to the mosque. Like, do whatever you like.
He said that it was love that kept his parents together, but what probably opens his mind even more is that his father had 3 wives. Now look, if you can handle multiple wives and they can handle being one of multiple women, then good for you. I salute you. You're a brave soul, and you're doing it for all those out there who can. Now, music was a big influence in Wizkid's early life as well, listening to Bob Marley and Fela Kuti, who was actually managed by Burna Boy's grandpa. Then Wizkid, he was introduced to American rappers like Master P, Snoop Dogg, and even Bow Wow. Now, I feel like Bow Wow, he doesn't get enough love in the hip-hop game. He did inspire a few. Now, Wizkid...
Finally, Bow Wow gets his props and recognition. I get it. It's all fun and games to clown and troll the guy and all that stuff there, but he really is he's an icon. He's not even a legend. He's an icon. Do you know what I mean? Like Bow Wow, little Bow Wow is an icon. Do you understand? Put some respect on his name, and he's a great performer live. Like, put some respect on his name. So the fact that Wizkid is inspired by Bow Wow, that says a lot. You know what I mean? And I'm glad he mentioned Fela Kuti as well, because that also is I would say it's evident, but you know what I mean? He is technically the godfather of Afrobeat, you know what I mean? So let's go.
Wizkid began singing and writing his own songs under the name Lil Prince. Now, The Lil Prince is one of my favorite books of all time, so I'm not sure if it had anything to do with it, or maybe the artist Prince, which seems probably more likely. But Lil Prince, he was making music with a group of his church friends called the Glorious Five. Now, Wizkid, he was a frequent churchgoer, and he attended every Sunday. But he didn't like the music that the choir was making and never wanted to be a part of it. So he called up his friends, and they decided to create their own blend of gospel and hip-hop.
Are you interested in becoming a professional actor and securing roles in movies, on TV, or on the stage? Then clean your
hip-hop. The group released an album to their church and actually made a good amount of money. Now, Wizkid claims to have made 10,000 nairas, which sounds like a lot of money, but to give you an equivalent, well, right now it's only $28 US. But for Wizkid at the time, well, it was still a lot. But after one album, the Gospel 5, they decided to go their separate ways. Now, Wizkid, he attended Ijebu Ode, a grammar school, which I won't even bother trying to pronounce again. But it has been known to have many prominent figures in politics, business, law, and music study there. The school was nicknamed the Dawn of Life, and it's one of the...
You know, it's funny. There's a lot of schools out there or areas in certain countries. You would notice that there's certain artists or certain people that come from that. You know what I mean? And they make it into a certain level of lifestyle, if that makes sense. I won't even say they become popular or become famous. I'm just saying it like that because, like, if you're talking about music in terms of hip hop, you know what I mean? That's where Jay-Z and Busta Rhymes went to the same high school. You know what I mean? If you're talking about like music in the UK, like South London in particular, like in fact, even in East London, like there's a lot of, anyway, I won't even get into it. There's just so many. So that's an interesting information to know.
One of the oldest and most reputable secondary schools in all of Nigeria. Now, the school was built with the goal of transmitting the ideas of God's enlightenment through education. Now, I feel like my school was just built to give kids something to do during the day, but this sounds way better. Fast forward the clock to 2006, and that's when Lil Prince became Wizkid. But it was when Wizkid met producer OJB, Jezreel, that Wizkid would see his musical dreams as a true possibility. Rest in peace, OJB. His legacy will still live on. Now, Wizkid would spend a lot of time at OJB's studio, and he actually got to witness Phase 2 and Sound Sultan record up close and personal and see the process of creating a...
Rest in peace, Sound Sultan, man. Seriously. Icon, like a true icon, man. I was talking about icons earlier. He was definitely an icon. But yeah, man. So this is why I like this is why I like this type of content, because you start to understand the artist even more. I'm still not liking that shirt though, man. Like, the guy's got good energy, like no Diddy, like he seemed like a good brother to you know what I mean? But like that shirt, but maybe he didn't know what, and I want to know what his thoughts on. Anyway, no, I don't. Let's keep it moving. Let's go. Hit the subscribe button.
A full body of work. Now, during this time, Wizkid, he was actually mentored by rapper Nato C. Nato would help coach Wizkid when he was just 15 years old and told him about the recording process, songwriting.
That's interesting. He was mentored by Nato C. I didn't know that. It kind of makes sense now.
And rhythm. Now, for the most part, he was just hanging around and observing greatness. Now, Wizkid's parents, they weren't immediately on board with his music dreams.
Obviously.
Now, his father told Wiz that he needed to prove his dedication by spending enough time in the studio, similar to how his father proved his dedication to his love for women by having 3 wives.
My parents, like I just had to convince them by, doing well in school, doing my shows, making sure that they see from the outside. Like, people tell them, yo, did you see what your kid did, man?
Now, Wizkid, he proved himself by working behind the scenes and waiting for it.
Parents love to hear, well, some parents, they love to hear something good about their son or their daughter from an outside source. Do you know what I mean? Like, something good. So if they're saying, oh, he's doing music, and if there's, you hear there's money in it, they can make a lot of money and get you out of a particular situation they're probably in. Psst, hey, do you? But you still need to have a good education. You still need to have a good education, because look at Fowles. Isn't Fowles like isn't he like a lawyer as well? And I think there was another artist as well in Nigeria that has another I forgot what it is, but the point I'm trying to make is you need good education. You know what I'm saying? Let's go.
For a shot. Now, Wizkid, he went to study for a year straight and didn't record a single song. OJB, he wanted him to learn by observing before doing. But Wizkid would freestyle songs in his head over the beats that were playing in the studio and practice his melodies. Now, finally, he was allowed to record his first song. He played it for his friends and everybody was jamming to it, but nobody respected him as a true artist because he was still just a kid. Then Wizkid, he met Osaji Osonakaho. I don't know if I said that. I probably butchered that. I'm sorry.
You did.
Now, he became his manager and helped him take things to a whole level. Wizkid would meet artist MI when he was in Lagos, and the two became friends. But shortly afterwards, his manager had an accident and was unable to manage Wizkid for a bit. Now, Wizkid, he was feeling pretty down about things and thought his career was at a standstill. But that's when MI invited him over to hear some of the new music he was making. He threw on a beat and had Wizkid do a little freestyle just for fun, but when MI's album came out, Wizkid was surprised to hear himself as a featured artist on the song Fast Money, Fast Cars. And it was his true introduction to people as a solo artist. And from there, well, he became...
How did I miss that? I will react to that song another time, but not in the stream, another time. Let me make a note of that. What was the name of that song? What is the name? Okay, it's called It's cool. Where am I looking now? Okay, yeah, fast money, fast cars. Okay. Fast money, fast cars. Wizkid. Am I a badger? Let's go.
Hear himself as a featured artist on the song Fast Money.
Hold on.
Money, Fast Cars. And it was his true introduction to people as a solo artist. And from there, well, he began freestyling a lot of his songs. Shortly after that feature, while attending an after party with MI, he was hanging out in the corner and just listening to a conversation between MI and Banky W. Now, someone they called out Wizkid's name. Banky, he turned around and said, "Wait, you're Wizkid? I've been searching for you all over the place." After the meeting, Banky signed Wizkid to EME, a label he co-owned. Now, after getting signed, things went up for Wizkid. He was booked for shows constantly. He was featured on more hit songs, and he co-wrote songs for some of the biggest names in music, including Banky, and he began preparing for his debut album. But Wizkid was still attending school at first. He was at Leeds City University, where he was studying international relations before eventually dropping out after he got signed. Now, his song, Holla at Your Boy, it really made a lot of people pay attention to him when it dropped in 2010. And Wizkid, he dropped his debut album, Superstar, in 2011. Now, the album, it won the award for Best Album of the Year at the Nigerian Entertainment Awards, and it received acclaim from fans and critics alike. Now, his second album, it dropped in 2014, and it included features from Tyga, Wale, and Akon. Wizkid's first international collab was with Akon on a remix of his song, Don't Dull, but by far his biggest look in America came on Drake's album, View.
Oh, see, you can't. This is why I've always disputed the fact that they want to say Wizkid, that it was because of Drake why he became big in America. No, it's because of Don't Dull, that tune, and Akon being on the remix. You can argue with me, you can argue with others if you want. You can leave it in the comment section if you want. And I'm not trying to disrespect Drake either. I'm just keeping it all the way 100. And the fact that in an interview I saw Drake specifically say out of his mouth, I'm saying, well, I say specifically, but he mentioned out of his mouth that he's the one that put Afro beats on the map. When he said that, come on, you're just a culture vulture, bruv. You know what I'm saying? You're a culture vulture, bruv. The way you said it, nah, you didn't put Afro beats on the map. Because the thing is, yeah, Akon was big in America. Now, you could argue and say, well, with a particular demographic, and I say with a particular demographic in terms of, I don't know, let's just say, for example, this guy's Canadian, for example, with some Canadians, that would be a fair argument to make. But if you're talking about on a proper international scale, I'm telling you, Don't Dull with the remix with Akon was that song. You can't argue with me in regards to that. You can't. Like, because Don't Dull is one of his biggest hits of all time. And you can argue and say, yeah, well, views. And the other thing is, well, that tune with Drake isn't necessarily an Afrobeats tune either. It's not. But let's go.
When he appeared on the song One Dance. Drake had hopped on the remix of one of Wizkid's songs in the summer of 2015 that premiered on OVO Sound Radio. But One Dance, it took things to a whole nother level. One Dance was Drake's first real dip into the Afrobeat scene, and Wizkid, he brought his unique style to the song. The song went #1 in 15 countries, and Drake returned the favor on Come Closer. Now, a year later, Wizkid, he signed a multi-album deal with RCA Records. Currently, Wizkid is making a name for himself on the international stage, and I have a feeling he will only keep getting bigger with time. But it was actually when he got his first car that his dad truly believed in his music, and that car was a black Honda iVTEC. So for whoever got that right, man, you're a true Wizkid fan. I owe you a follow. As for the rest of the story, we're going to wrap this one up here because this, of course, is before they're famous. My name's Mike McCredden. We make all sorts of celebrity bios here for you on this channel. If you haven't subscribed already, be sure to do so now. Check out our hip-hop playlist because I'm sure if there's an artist out there that you want to know how they made it, well, we got a video for you. All right, I'll see you guys in another video. Boom!
Okay. The brother's got good energy. I can't even front. I can't even front. I just don't like the fact that he's wearing a OVO shirt, bruv. It's really like, yeah. Anyway, let's see what the people say in the comments real quick. Nigeria for life from if you're from Africa. I'd click so fast when I saw Wizkid. We all did. Wow, I'm so happy to see him here. It's all 5 years ago. Hold on. Let's see what's here. Someone else mentioned about all right. You see in the corner, don't go. Let's see. Let's see what the recent comments are saying. They're not like us. Hey, I promise you. Hey, listen. Sometimes, just sometimes, you know that was coming. You know what I mean? Anyway, Rough Man Street Monk helped make Wizkid who he is. You forgot some detail. That's gonna happen. Trust me, dog. What an incredible artist. He's a fundamental piece in African music. Yeah, Shasha Wada should be next. I'm gonna put one dance is not Afrobeats, but it is arguable on what song made him an international star. However, he was clear because of Akon International. You just had to be there. You know what I mean? You just had to be there. That's all I can say. It's like when you're in the moment, you can see things for what they are. When you are seeing it from the outside looking in, like, because that's like, for example, saying Davido became a global success because of Chris Brown. That's what that sounds like. But then Chris Brown ain't really a culture vulture like that. But you get what I'm trying to say. Like, and I could be completely wrong, but he doesn't come across as a culture vulture. All right, so now I'm conflicted because there's two more content I want to react to. Let me see something real quick. If you've got any shout outs, I want to shout you out real quick. Oh, I'm just looking at how long I've been on stream. Yeah, I can only react to one more stuff. I apologize, just one more stuff because, yeah, the next day, you know what I mean? It depends how long this one is. By the way, my name is Versatile, aka the Alkebulan Trust and Name Trust when it comes to all things reactions. And right now we're going to react to Mysterious Life. In fact, let me see it properly. Let me see how long it is. Oh, 15 minutes. Without pausing, I could do this in 15 minutes. The Mysterious Life of Aliko Dangote, 2025 documentary. These may not be all facts, but we're just going to react to it. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. Hit the subscribe button, especially if you're a what can I speak? Aliko Dangote fan. You know what I mean? You want to know how he made his money. You want to know how he maintains his money. You get me? Let's keep it moving. When it comes to Femi Otedola, that has to be another day. It has to be. I just don't have time for it right now. I apologize. So that was in the title, but I ain't trying to
I think
mislead.
it makes you rich for about 6 hours and then broke for the rest of the month. The worst part isn't even the hangover. It's looking at your bank balance the next day and finding
Aliko Dangote. Many people don't know a lot about this man, except that he is the richest person in Africa. But what if I tell you that there's a lot more to the billionaire figure than that? With a gripping marriage life, background, and shady political dealings, Dangote is not just an entrepreneur. He is, if not, the most interesting character in the Nigerian scene. What you're about to watch will change how you see this mysterious billionaire mogul and will offer an insider look into his personal world, power, and wealth.
What was that scream, Brad?
In 2011, Dangote was announced the richest man in Africa by Forbes Media Company, a position that he has been holding for over 13 years and counting. At the time of this announcement, Dangote's net worth stood about $2.1 billion, and in 2015, it skyrocketed to a whopping $25 billion. Although that figure dropped to $10 billion 5 years later, thanks to the depreciation of the naira. His position as the continent's wealthiest man still remained unchallenged. However, this is just a view from an outsider perspective. There is a lot more to the man behind this fortune. The number one mystery about Dangote is the question of how he was able to achieve his wealth in the first place. The answer is simple: his family.
I came from a wealthy family. My late great-grandfather, really the richest.
Saying that Dangote came from wealth is an understatement. He came from massive wealth. This is not to discredit his efforts, but to throw some light into some of the privileges and opportunities he had while growing up and how the clever young boy was able to leverage them. His mother, Maria Dantata, was the daughter of Sanusi Dantata, the top heir of the Dantata family, who were widely believed to be the richest household in West Africa at the time. Dangote's own father, Mohammed Dangote, died while he was just 8 years old, leaving him to be raised by the great tycoon Sanusi Dantata, his maternal grandfather. Despite all the riches his own father owned, Dangote admitted that his father left him nothing.
I did not inherit any money from my father. I built everything from scratch to where I am.
As the man had stated in his will that all his wealth be given to charity. Perhaps he wanted his children to make their own wealth and not depend on any inheritance, which might have worked in a way, as his first son, Aliko Dangote, would go on to not just make his own wealth, but also become the richest man in Africa, with only the sum of 500,000 naira loaned to him by his grandfather. Adjusting for inflation, the loan amount would be worth over $1.6 million or 2.6 billion naira.
Okay, I was going to see what's the conversion rate today. But I'm thinking to myself, right? Obviously, he's being raised, he was raised from 8 years onwards by his maternal grandfather. It makes me question, okay, what did his grandfather teach him? Do you understand? Because that's what you're really gonna, because what you learn as a small child, especially beyond, like, before your teenage years, those are the things that you're gonna, like, have embedded in you, and then you're gonna be able to navigate through life. So that, like, it has a grip on you for a very long time. You know what I mean? Like, it just got me thinking, what did he learn? What did he learn? Because obviously he learned something to be able to make sure that he built up this vast amount of wealth. But let's keep it moving. Hit the subscribe button. Let's go. Like I said, I'm not going to try and pause as much.
Naira today. But that is not even the shocking part. What was even more mind-blowing was that the 20-year-old was able to repay the loan in just 3 months by importing and selling agricultural produce in the country. Spending his childhood with his grandfather had not just taught him a lot, it had greatly influenced his interest in business, even right from primary school, where he said he would often buy cartons of sweet and biscuits to resell to his classmates in school. In that same year, 1977, Dangote registered his first company, the Dangote Group, a small trading firm as it started out to be. The Dangote Group sold bags of cement, rice, sugar, and other commodities. While Dangote was making ripples in the business world, he wanted to settle down too, and he ended up marrying that same year at just 20 to a woman named Hajiya Zainab in what was reported to be an arranged marriage. However, Dangote was not as successful as he was in the business world when it came to the matters of the heart. His first marriage quickly ended in a divorce, and he decided to marry again. This time to a business partner known as Maria Rufai. It could be portrayed as a case of mixing business with pleasure, a situation that didn't turn out well as he and Maria later ended up divorced. Surprisingly, Dangote retained Maria in his company, where she still serves as an executive despite their separation, illustrating Dangote's ability to separate sentiments from business when it comes to running his company.
I hear it still.
Meanwhile, the young CEO was still relentless in his pursuit of love, as he went for it a third time, which we might say is the most interesting case. Not many people know that Aliko Dangote was once a suitor to Nafisat Yaradua, daughter of late President Musa Yaradua. He requested her hand in marriage in 2009 after reportedly being in a romantic relationship with the young lady. However, he was turned down by the woman, who later went ahead to marry an ex-governor of Bauchi State. Whatever the reason might be, the family had made their choice, and the richest man in Africa couldn't get the wife he wanted. But was Dangote really seeking a wife, or was he in search of a political alliance at that point like many had believed? Dangote's activities with the political class did not start today, as his strategic meddlings with the government would earn him the label of a monopolist. From pitching his transport services to the Central Bank of Nigeria in the 1990s, Dangote was able to climb into the inner circle of the ruling class, building connections with his expanding wealth and building wealth through his expanding connections. He would go on to solidify his position as a power figure when he donated the sum of 200 million naira or $2 million, a huge amount of money at that time, in financing the re-election of President Olusegun Obasanjo in 2003. The re-election was a successful one, and Dangote was expected to be a beneficiary of the government due to the controversial donations he made to the ruling party during elections. This expectation was not in vain, as the government would begin to raise eyebrows each time they enacted policies that favor the ambitious billionaire, often leaving his competitors in despair. One notable event was his popular rivalry.
I mean, look, I'll be honest, yeah. That happens across politics in a lot of countries, not just within African countries, but in Western countries. If you know, you know. So it just goes to show, like, yeah. So that I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised, but let's keep it moving. Hit the subscribe button. Let's go.
With the Ibeto Cement Company during the administration of President Obasanjo. The cement trading industry was a stronghold of Dangote's empire during that time, and the Ibeto Cement Company was a contending competitor. It was a battle of who had the greatest market share in the billion-dollar sector, and Ibeto seemed to have secured the upper hand when he flooded the country with tons of cement imports, crashing the price of the commodity within the country and sending ripples around the Nigerian cement market. This badly affected Dangote, as his business was on the verge of crumbling since he couldn't sell the cement bags at more profitable prices. This led his company to write a letter to the Obasanjo government challenging the import license the administration had granted to Ibeto, which was highly disrupting the market. And whether it was just the letter or not, nobody could tell, as the coming days saw the revocation of the Ibeto's authority to cement import, leaving Dangote as the only player in the market. The
man said, you know what? Man's gonna cement my place in history as the only Nigerian to be running this game. Basically, Dangote. Would you like? How greedy? That's greedy, bruv. Let's go.
The Obasanjo administration highlighted its commitment to encouraging local production of the cement commodity, urging that Ibeto Cement Company focus on improving local production rather than focusing on imports. This was a big blow to Dangote's rival, which led to numerous lawsuits, popular backlashes, and political dramas that continued into successive administrations. But one thing was sure, Dangote had not just saved his business, he had ruthlessly secured top spot for himself through the elimination of his opponents, which further allowed him the space and resources to completely grip the cement industry in Nigeria.
Business Development Manager?
Hiring for your small business? If you're not looking on LinkedIn, you're looking in the wrong place.
Dangote here. This is not.
Here's the big secret about women.
This is
we want you
business.
to flirt with us. We even want you to get sexual with us, desire us. But here's.
In just 2007, Dangote's wealth had increased exponentially, catapulting him to become Nigeria's first dollar billionaire in the same year. He had completed his first cement factory, and 5 years later, he was able to secure a land lease from the government on a portion of the abandoned Apapa seaport, where he built the largest sugar refinery in the world. establishing a vertical supply chain that helped him dominate the sector. In 2013, Forbes officially declared him the richest man in Africa. To Dangote, however, he admitted seeing his valuation as just numbers written on paper and had to once visit a bank to withdraw $10 million in raw cash in order to get a feel of his money and not just hear about it.
I remember him talking about that. I remember there was a video of him interviewing him talking about that. I was like, really? Really? Hey, let's go.
One day I went to a bank and cash $10 million. Yeah. And I went home and I opened it and I look at 10 million. I said, okay, fine. Now I believe I have money.
It was a funny story he told about himself, but it revealed a lot more about him. For a person like Dangote, he seems less interested in how much he has made, but is more interested in how much he can make. That was why, in the same year he was declared the richest man in Africa, Dangote was already in talks with the government and investors about building a crude oil refinery. At approximately $20 billion, it would be the largest single investment in the history of the country and also a game changer to the Nigerian petroleum industry, the nation's black gold.
That makes sense.
The project took about 15 years from its conception to completion, as President Muhammadu Buhari finally commissioned the gigantic project in 2023, just a week to the end of his tenure. This was after so many delays and promises concerning the completion of the industrial site, which was now a matter of national interest given that it would be the first oil refinery in Nigeria after so many decades. Everybody believed that the refinery slated to produce 650,000 barrels of refined crude per day would...
You know what's mad? Or not mad? You know what's interesting? The fact that there's... Anyway, did they just say what I just thought they said? It would be the first oil refinery in Nigeria, which makes no sense to me when you think about the way that we export oil to different countries, by the way. Not within the African continent, but I mean as in, yeah. Let's go.
Would mean a crash in the price of petroleum products and would bring a sustainable end to the country's importation of refined crude oil with spear to export. The time of speculation had come and gone, and it was time for results. Did the $20 billion project fulfill its expectations? Fast forward to 2024, and Dangote is at loggerheads with the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, NNPC, whom he accuses of trying to sabotage the success of his refinery. But what was the cause of this outcry? And if true, why would Nigeria's own petroleum company try to undermine Dangote's massive investment in the oil sector? Petroleum Regulatory Body had released a test result from a sample product of Dangote's refinery, citing that his refined product contained high amount of sulfur impurities. Dangote quickly debunked this, even providing his own samples in a public hearing to prove that his products were in fact very pure by standard measures. Then, the issue of supply emerged as to where Dangote would be sourcing his crude oil supply from, given that the NNPC's share in the daily oil production in Nigeria was not enough to satisfy the crude oil demands of the massive refinery, thanks to the rundown of the country's mining operation. And not just that, the NNPC wanted to sell the crude oil supply to Dangote in dollars, which seemed ridiculous given that both were Nigerian companies and operated primarily within Nigeria. However, after a series of backlash and going back and forth, the NNPC backtracked on this, finally deciding to supply crude oil to Dangote's refinery at Naira prices, even though the supply would be less than the capacity of the refinery. But the problems of Dangote with the NNPC were yet to end, as the state company wanted more to the agreement. Upon resuming operations, the NNPC demanded to have an exclusive patronage of the refinery, which would hinder any other buyer but the NNPC to purchase petroleum from the company and sell to the consumer market. Many believe that such a move was uncalled for and only opened up an avenue for the exploitation of the masses by NNPC. Dangote himself was not satisfied by this, but had no option given that it would be impossible for his refinery to operate without succumbing to the demands of the NNPC. At this point, many called for the intervention of the government. but the federal government had made it clear that it would not meddle in the affair of the two companies, given that they were both independent and had the rights to negotiate between one another. Best believe this was a case of an unwillingness to act on the side of the government, given that it held the power to easily manipulate decisions in the NNPC, but had chosen not to. It amplified the theory that a conflict of interest was at play within members of the government who, in collaboration with the nation's oil cabal and foreign actors, did not want to relinquish their hold on the oil market to the new player. In the face of all this, Dangote has confessed that his decision to build a refinery is a regrettable one. And given what he knows today, he would not make the same decision if the hands of the clock were to be rewound.
And you know why that? Listen, when it comes to certain commodities and certain resources, now I don't know it all, but there's certain commodities within the world that certain groups or people have a large market share to the point, and best believe they took it by force, not by, you know what I mean? Like, so they're not going to let go of that. You know what I mean? They're not going to let go of it. And because they're not going to let go of it, they will find ways to make sure whoever's trying to get into that market, they will sabotage. But credit to Dangote to be able to branch out. Do you know what I mean? He could have just stayed within the cement industry and just settled with that. But he explored other avenues. Do you know what I mean? But let's keep it moving now.
Despite all this, the Nigerian business mogul is still pushing harder than ever, holding as many press conferences as he can to let the world know of the oppression and challenges he is facing at the hands of the political class.
I knew that there would be a fight, but I didn't know that mafia in oil, they are stronger than mafia in drugs.
A class that he once enjoyed its power. Away from all the noises in the media, Dangote has not just built businesses, he has built a family too. He is a father to 3 daughters and an adopted son, all from his previous marriages. And he is currently not married, although he has been caught up in scandals involving mistresses. Dangote has fully devoted himself to his business. According to him, the demands of his investment have spared him no commitment to share with a life partner. Even with all his wealth, Dangote lives quite a frugal life, owning just 2 houses, one in Lagos and the other in Kano, his hometown, with a rented apartment in Abuja. Just like every other billionaire, he has a yacht too, which he named after his mother, Maria. Beyond the figures and controversies, Dangote represents resilience and ambition, continually pushing the boundaries of entrepreneurship in Africa. Despite the challenges he faces today, from battles with government bodies to investment dilemmas, Dangote remains a pivotal figure in Nigeria's economic landscape. Looking at his life, as much as we know, it is now clear that wealth, power, and influence come with their own set of trials. And Dangote's story, which is an example of this, is far from over.
I knew they were going to play it. By Burna Boy, Dangote by Burna Boy. That should have been the intro. That should have been the intro. Shout out to Dangote, even though he's friends with Bill H from hell. But anyway, let's see what people say in the comments real quick. Good content. As a South Africa, I would really love to see Nigeria joining BRICS. The Dangote group would need to be protected. The company is this company has monopolized it and can change the fortunes of Nigeria. The Nigerian government really needs to get in order and don't fail this man. What was I actually saying? What did I say? So it's not just me that actually sees what's going on. They may have not said it verbatim the way I said it, but they definitely know how much of a a massive market share they have in that, and they took it by pure force. Yeah, by pure force. Big bless. They love Mr. Dangote, the great African. This was a great watch and very inspirational because it shows, excuse me, how Aliko Dangote has cemented his place in history as one of the few Africans in modern era that will challenge the status quo despite backlash. Do you know what I mean? And when I say challenge the status quo, I'm talking about the status quo in terms of the market share in particular. Do you know what I mean? But, and if more people, I don't know, it's a tricky one. Like, would you rather would you rather build within and, you know, trade within, or would you rather export, knowing that you already have the commodity within that country? Like, let's make it make sense. Like, let's genuinely make it make sense. And I could be wrong here, innit? Like, I think it could help, you know, increase the value of the naira. Do you know what I mean? Like, because how has the value of the naira decreased in the space of how many decades? It's beyond a joke, if you ask me. There's a reason for that, and I ain't gonna talk about that in this particular live stream. All I'm gonna say is everything you're seeing that's happening right now, there's a reason why certain things happen. You know what I mean? Anyway, shout you out for watching. That's it for today's stream. I really wanted to go on to another African billionaire or Nigerian billionaire, but that's got to be on another live stream. You know what I'm saying? But like, that definitely will be in another live stream. I'm not even joking. It genuinely will be. Yeah, it genuinely will. So hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Hit the share button if you haven't already. But yeah.